It is 1 in the morning. Nothing is wrong. You checked. The doors are locked. The work is done. Nobody is angry with you. And your mind is still talking. It has been talking since you put the phone down. It is not solving anything. It is going around the same 3 thoughts in a slightly different order each time. 1800 years ago, the most powerful man in the world had this exact problem. What he did about it was not to look for better advice. He already had the advice. He wrote it down again anyway, and then again, for 10 years. We like to think this is a modern condition. Too many screens, too much information, too many people talking at once. The causes are modern. The feeling is not. The man was Marcus Aurelius, and he died in the year 180. Consider what he was carrying. In the year 165, or 166, a plague broke out and moved through the empire. Modern estimates put the dead at 5 to 10 million people. He spent his final years at the northern frontier, in a war that did not end while he was alive. He and his wife had at least 13 children. Many of them died as infants. He buried them. This is a man who had every reason to be unwell, and every possible resource to fix it. He could order almost anything in the known world. He could not order his own mind to be quiet. Sit with that part. If a full treasury and absolute power do not settle a mind, then a better phone, a cleaner schedule, and a quieter apartment are not going to settle yours either. Whatever is happening at 1 in the morning is not a problem of circumstances. He had the worst circumstances available to a human being, and the same thing was happening to him. What he left behind is a book we call Meditations. That name is not his. The work had no official title. In Greek, it is simply called Things to Himself. He did not write it for you. It is unlikely he ever intended any of it to be published. There is no argument in it, no thesis, no reader being addressed. Large parts of it were written between the years 170 and 180, while he was on campaign. One book carries a note saying it was written among the Quadi at the river Granua. Another was written at Carnuntum, a military camp on the Danube. Picture that for a second. A man in a tent at the edge of an empire he is personally responsible for, writing instructions to himself at night in a foreign language he admired. And because he was not performing for anybody, the sentences do something that advice almost never does. They do not sell. He is not building a following. He is not making it sound good. He is not softening the ending. He is giving orders to one person, and that person is the one holding the pen. That is why it does not read like self-improvement. It reads like a man talking himself down. And that turns out to matter, because the thing keeping you awake does not respond to being sold to. It responds to being told. Read it straight through, and the first thing you notice is that he repeats himself, constantly. The same small handful of instructions, returning in slightly different clothes, book after book. In the English translation most of us read, he addresses himself as thyself 195 times, in about 66,000 words. The word remember appears 49 times. A man telling himself to remember 49 times, because he kept forgetting. Here is where almost everybody misreads him. That repetition is not a weakness in the book. That repetition is the book. We have been trained to treat advice as information. Hear it once, understand it, file it, done. Under that rule, A man writing the same instruction to himself for 10 years looks like someone who failed. He was told, he understood, he wrote it down, and he still had to write it again the following month. But that is exactly what it looks like when a person actually works on his own mind. You already know what you should be thinking about at 1 in the morning, knowing it has never once stopped the loop, because the loop is not an information problem. He was not collecting insights. He was rehearsing, and you can tell it is rehearsal, because he writes like a man who has lost this argument before and expects to lose it again. Take away thy opinion, he writes. And then there is taken away the complaint. I have been harmed. Take away the complaint. I have been harmed, and the harm is taken away. That is not new information. He knew that long before he wrote it. He is writing it down at 50, because at 50, it still had to be said again. Nothing in that sentence is clever. It is not supposed to be clever. It is supposed to be available at speed in the dark when the thing arrives. So what did he actually do? He wrote this: men seek retreats for themselves, houses in the country, seashores, and mountains. But this, he says, is the mark of the most common sort of men, because it is in your power to retire into yourself whenever you choose. Nowhere with more quiet or more freedom from trouble does a man retire than into his own soul. Read quickly. That sounds like a nice line about inner peace. Read it as an instruction, and it is much smaller and much more useful. He is saying, the retreat is not a place, and it is not a mood, and it is not something you feel your way into. It is a short set of sentences you have already prepared that you go to on purpose, which means the practice has 3 parts, and none of them are inspiring. First, it is written, not thought about. Written in your own words, addressed to yourself as an order. Second, it is short, and it is the same. You are not looking for new material every night. New material is the thing that keeps you awake. You go back to the same few sentences until they are worn smooth. Third, you expect it not to work at first. That is the part everybody quits on. The first 10 times you tell yourself the true thing at 1 in the morning, the loop will keep talking over you. That is not evidence that it failed. That is the shape of the work. An emperor did it for 10 years and still needed it on the last night. So tonight, write 1 sentence to yourself, not about your day, an instruction. And tomorrow, do not write a better one. Write the same one. There is one more thing, and it is the strangest part. That notebook was never meant to leave his tent, and for about 700 years after he died, almost nobody mentions it. The first clear reference we have comes from around the year 907, from a bishop named Aurelius. The text we read today survives through essentially 2 manuscripts. One of them was printed in the 1550s, and the manuscript that printing was made from has since disappeared. It is simply gone. We have the copy. We do not have the source. So a private notebook, written by a man who did not intend it for you, at the frontier of a collapsing century, survived by a series of accidents, and reached you anyway. You may as well use it. It is 1 in the morning. Your mind is still talking. You are not going to fix that tonight with something you have never heard before. You are going to fix it the way he did. By telling yourself the same true thing again and again until it is louder than the loop. If that was worth your time, subscribe. This is Marble and Ash.